Tufanye kazi pamoja na tukue pamoja. Kuimarisha Kenya ni jukumu la Farm Kenya.
Well, a very good afternoon to you and welcome to the Farm Kenya show. It is a beautiful afternoon, and one of the things that is very popular at this time is that people are having lunch. Now, when you're having lunch, there's always compliments that you want to accompany your meal. And in Kenya, one of the most popular compliments that we have with our meals, this one goes with everything. In fact, soon we'll be having tea with this particular components. What am I talking about? Avocado, all right? And Africa, where do we sit? We produce on average close to 20% of the global production. The big question is, do we have potential for more? And how, as a continent, can we rise up to make sure that we are taking a market share in a world that the demand and consumption of avocados is growing by the day? My name is Noki Kimbo and welcome to the show. And today I have a very heavy panel with us to discuss this issue of growing avocado and avocado ecosystem and generally agribusiness in Africa. I'm joined by Ambassador Adeni Buni, who is the chairman of Avocado Society of Kenya at the center. And we also have Mr. Peter Kariuki, lead consultant with the same society, Avocado Society of Kenya. But as we start into this discussion, maybe to start off with you, Peter, it's quite an interesting because avocado seems to be a mainstay in many of our households here in Kenya. We love avocados generally. Yes. In fact, if you find somebody who's allergic to avocado, you're like, what is happening to your life? Bring us, in terms of status quo, production, even before we move to Africa. In Kenya, what is the status quo of avocado production in the country?
Okay, what I would say is in Kenya, we have not yet started producing the volumes that are needed, actually. Because even if you look in our markets now, even finding avocados here in Nairobi or in the other towns, they have become very expensive. Initially, they were cheap. Now, what is happening is that we have exporters, so many exporters who have come to Kenya, and they are buying our fruit. So, even as Kenyans, we are being unable to buy avocados from the grocery shops because the price is so high. So actually, what we need to do is to increase our production, plant more, and we keep on going because the demand is high, is growing every time. And we want to eat avocados before even we export them. To tell you the truth, me being a Kenyan farmer, I get shocked. In my house, we don't eat avocados because the exporter buys all the avocados and goes away with them. I get money. I even go to buy avocados from the market because the demand is so high. You see, so yes.
I mean, it's very interesting that you point out where the demand is.
Yes.
And the beauty about demand is that it gives room for production in the country. Yeah. And that's the Kenya, because we're the leader exporters, producers of avocados on this continent. If I'm not wrong, we are doing pretty huge numbers. And it varies. And I'm glad today we have the chairman of Avocado Society of Nigeria. Welcome to Kenya.
Thank you.
Do Nigerians love avocados as we do?
Not as you do. We're trying to. It's coming up. But in terms of consumption, we really don't do like you said, it's like a staple food. Everybody is eating avocado here. But in Nigeria, we're not yet eating that way.
Is it cultural? It's not a popular fruit?
It's actually popular. I think the major problem is people really don't know the benefit in terms of the health benefit, the nutritional benefit. But since we started, sensitizing people about it, and the consumption has actually rise.
All right.
And that's why we are here today, collaborating with the Kenya team and every other solution provider across Africa to make sure that a lot of people, apart from exporting, this is God-given, highly dense nutrition food for us in Africa.
Definitely.
It has everything.
It
And
has
we need to
everything.
consume it a lot.
Yeah, and a lot of potential when it comes to value addition.
A lot.
Yeah, but just what Peter had noted in terms of production numbers, Kenya, we are leading. Yes. There are quite a number of countries following Kenya. I was trying to look for Nigeria, and it was difficult to find.
Yeah, so what we are trying to do is to also put Nigeria, in the list of the producing country. Today, we are not really doing much. Whatever it is we're doing is for just local consumption, especially the variety that is needed across the world, which is the Hass variety, is new in Nigeria. We started promoting this 4 years ago, and we keep moving every day. We keep pushing it every day. But we have the local variety, the Jumbo and Fuete and the rest. We have them, but we are just building the consciousness about like having orchard. Just like you have here. And we are using the model of Kenya too, the small scale model. No matter what you have a 10 trees, excellent. You have 20 trees, excellent. Let's just keep producing the Hass variety. And I believe in a couple of, maybe probably 5-10 years, you should be able to see our name in the list.
Definitely. I mean, Peter, we talk about the model of production of avocado in the country. And it's quite interesting because it's dominated by small scale producers, almost 70-30 or so, that threshold. Why is that the working model? And even when we talk about scaling production, because Africa, we are contributing only 20%. Before we come to the model, do we have potential to do more as a continent?
Yes, we have a potential. What happens is people need to be informed, educated. Okay, so people have bare land in Kenya that they are not using to plant avocados. So we need to inform them that this is a new crop, we need to do this. Okay, it has been there for some years, yes. But most of the people, you ask them, they don't know about avocado, the Hass avocado and the money that is given the farmer. So we need to educate our people. We need to educate Nigerians. Africa is a continent, so that we reap from this green gold. Okay, yes,
definitely. Ambassador, it's quite interesting because we talk about avocado as a substrata, but even when you move high and talk about agribusiness and trade generally in Africa, it seems, first of all, we are not trading enough amongst ourselves. We have more potential for that. But when it comes to agribusiness across the continent, what do you think have been the barriers for continental businesses to be able to tap into this resource from the most fertile continent across the world? What is barring us from going and growing our agribusiness capacity?
Yeah, I think the deliberate effort of the Western world to actually put a barrier between each and every one of us. For me, coming into Kenya, I have to get a visa. You come into Nigeria, you have to get a visa. This is a restriction on its own. Then for you to trade between us, it takes a lot of documentation, bottlenecks and different things. We have the potential to actually go bigger as a continent if we are working on like the same, goals and everything, but we are like divided. The gap is so wide because what you are thinking about is different from what I'm thinking about. And the only people, the set of people that are trying to put this together are the private sectors, the people, playing in the ecosystem. For example, when I came into Kenya, and we started talking to individuals, professionals like Peter, the Avocado Society of Kenya. You discover that Africans, we're all one. We love each other. We want to do things together. But there are a lot of barriers. For me to bring input from Kenya, I need the export certificates. I need the import certificate on my other side. A lot of things, So it's not smooth. The relationship is not smooth. We want to, but the policies, we need just to come break some of these barriers. And I love what Kenya is doing now in the area of this visa issue, whereby you can you do your ETA, you're in Kenya. Unlike before, you have to get the visa. And so we need to begin to cut down these bottlenecks and begin to deliberately work together.
Yes.
I tell people that exporting our produce is just one thing. And for me, I really don't support exportation to that level. We should be adding value to our produce locally in Africa. Because one, we have the population, we have the buying power, and we even need this produce. You can imagine you are sending your raw produce to the West, and they will add value and bring it back. Why you can just do little things, get the same vitamins, the nutrient, everybody. By the time you begin to push these things, there's what we call the food miles.
Yes.
The produce travels, they add values. You don't even know what has gone to your produce, but you are consuming. But why can't we begin to look at, okay, no matter how it is. And another thing for Africa, I want to say, let us learn to appreciate ours. Let us consume what we produce. We just have this taste for foreign things. Lovely packaging. Oh, yeah, it's from this country, it's from that country. If you look at sometimes even what we wear, you see some people in Africa from head to toe, they are foreign. So it doesn't really make sense.
Yes,
we
definitely.
have to be deliberate as a continent, and this is one of the ways that can really take this continent to the next level.
Yes.
We produce, we add value, we consume.
Definitely. That's very important, Peter.
Yes.
You, apart from consulting in this space, you're also a farmer.
Yes.
And you export. It's not pro-export, so that raises a lot of questions.
Yeah, value
addition. Now,
addition.
how are you value adding avocados here in Kenya from your experience?
Okay. What I have seen is mostly here in Kenya, we are doing exports of avocado, avocado. And then from there, the rejects, they have been, we are extracting oil from them. Okay, so maybe also the oil, we are exporting it. So we are exporting everything, even the seed now and the skin. So that is where we stand.
Okay.
And I was telling my people, actually Kenyans, that very soon we will not be eating the avocados because they will be gone. Everything is going. So now we have to. So value addition is just that oil and all that. So
okay, and we could do better. I mean, from the avocado standpoint, what are the low-hanging fruits? Yeah, pun intended. In regards to value adding our products, be it avocados in Nigeria, be it avocados in Kenya, what do you think the areas that we can tap into for majority, especially the small scale?
There's a lot. You see, the avocado oil is a big business on its own.
Yes.
We have avocado can be processed into almost everything. You have your lip balm, you have your hair cream, your cosmetics, there are also things you can do with supplements. Every part of avocado is good, including the seed. So, and it's very funny that you're exporting the seed here. We are actually crushing the seed and making them into powder for medicinal purposes, because the research is there. It's not like you're just going to research it. There's a lot of things that you can get from avocado. And maybe the reason why I'm a pan, value addition is because I come from a country that has huge population. We're talking about 230 million people. So whatever it is we produce, we can consume. You understand? If only we understand the value, the nutritional value, health value, why will I want to I want to eat the bad and send the best out?
Definitely.
It doesn't make sense. I should cultivate and be able to consume it. A lot of farmers, like what Mr. Peter is saying here, is that a lot of farmers cannot even eat the avocado. It's becoming so scared. Oh yeah, I just want to make money. Let me sell it. Then we now touch the reject. But in my country, I keep saying we have the population, we have the buying power. So for me, value addition, whatever we process there, once we understand that this is good for our health, but generally, father, mother, the children, then we can consume it.
Definitely.
And the money will come, because once you sell your produce locally and the value is added to it, you make your money almost the same money you're going to make in export. I tell people, the process of exporting, you are expecting a foreign currency, yes, but when you look at the process and procedure, and you look at a standard off-taking mechanism locally, when you look at those figures together plus time, then for me, I will choose local market if it's a standard.
That's quite interesting, because it's the same argument that we are having with the Africa Continental Free Trade area. agreement, whichever you choose. And essentially it was to get rid of those barriers within the continent so that we can sort of create an ecosystem of dependence amongst ourselves, not only in Kenya, but as a continent. Because you realize when there is a problem in Ukraine, our food security is affected here because you can't get grains.
In Africa.
In Africa, we net importers of food.
Yes.
And whoever feeds you controls you at the end of the day. So talking about that aspect of trading within ourselves, because I mean, our avocados, we export a good portion of it. And I'm assuming it's not exporting to African countries, are we?
We are exporting to Europe, mostly. So what happens is, I think everybody loves money anyway. So we just have to...
You've robbed us into...
So we just find ourselves selling everything. We are left with... Actually, you see even the farmers who do tomatoes and all that, they will sell the best, then they'll be left with the rejects. So I think Africa, we first get the money. And you see one thing, someone who sell avocado or you sell a banana and go and buy rice. You see? So the nutritional values, they're very different. You see? So you better check avocado, even if you have to take the rice. But how do you sell a banana and go and buy rice? You see? So we still need to educate our people in how to eat healthy. Yes.
So there is a huge information gap that we see, but also there is the commercial element, because as an avocado farmer, it seems more appealing to send these fruits to Europe and to Middle East as compared to sell it within the ecosystem. In Nigeria, you are saying, you have a market, 200 million people. There is a level of self-sustainability that is very possible. It's the same with China. With the numbers that they're hitting, they might as well just trade amongst themselves and produce among themselves, and it's good. But in terms of now from Nigeria, let's look at the continent of Africa. You've spoken about getting rid of the barriers, trade barriers. In fact, we call them non-tariff barriers that are there that makes business difficult. In order to create that market within Africa, where we can say the avocados that are grown in Africa, majority of them are consumed in Africa, but also there is a certain level of competitiveness in the pricing so that the farmer doesn't lose out on it. How do we achieve that?
Okay, I think it's a process. It's a process. The first thing is the appreciation of what you produce. One of the reasons why you want to send this thing out is the Europeans consume this a lot, the Americans consume it a lot. They already understand that this is I actually call it superfood. You understand? Because there are cadres of food. We have the superfood, we have the supplement, we have... So this is among the superfood. So they already understand the value, everything they want to do. So you naturally want to sell. For me, as the CEO of Avocado State of Nigeria, I get nothing less than 5 meals of ready-to-buy clients across Europe and Middle East every week, talking figure with me. And when I'm telling them that, these things are not fruiting yet, you see, the temptation is there. Naturally, these people are ready to say, please, when you have this, we want to buy everything. Give us the list of the farms you have. We are ready to buy everything, even when they are not ready yet. So the market, there is a huge market out there. So naturally, as a farmer, as a producer, you are tempted to push it. But now talking about local trade among us in Africa, the first thing is we must understand that this produce is needed. And you talked about the information, the knowledge gap and information gap. For example, we do a lot of olive oil in Nigeria. And I was in Tunisia with my campaign and we're talking, and this thing is very affordable in Tunisia. And there's no way. I was thinking, can we put this thing in barrier? How can we move this to Nigeria? When I look at the processes and procedure, I gave up. It's easy for you to bring it up from Europe to my country than bringing it up from other African country, which is just like 6, 7, 8 hours down here. The complication is just too much within Africa. So what you produce and you have in excess that we need, There's no way you can't send it to us. You can't send it to us. What we have in essence that you need, there's no way we can send it to you. So I think we need to then begin to look at this. We have to deliberately and be ready to trade among ourselves.
Definitely.
Most of the time we have the money. It's an insult on this continent that a war is going on in Europe and we are feeling it in Africa. I will sit down and begin to look at why wheat. Are you telling me we don't have alternative? Are you telling me we cannot get flour from matoke? Are you telling me we cannot get flour from what we call matoke plantain in Nigeria? There are a lot of natural things that we can get this same alternative from.
Yes.
But we would rather want to export because it's the easiest. Just you have the money, you buy it. We are not thinking of, oh yeah, let me talk to you. You have a factory that processes this. I don't want to wait. I don't want to support your growth. But I would rather take my money to do a ready-made. But buying ready-made, what am I doing? I'm supporting another continent.
Exactly.
So we need to understand that we need to support each other. We are just coming into a massive value addition. But you notice that most of our products, locally, we don't even buy from ourselves. There is a product I saw in China that was produced from Rwanda. There's a pepper, a liquid pepper. This guy is just few zones in China that eat pepper. But some West Africa, we eat a lot of pepper. And we don't even know about this product. And this product is from Africa.
Definitely.
You see these variables.
Definitely.
We need our government, the people at the helm of our affair to be deliberate about continental growth.
Exactly.
We need to grow Africa.
That's important. We need to grow Africa. We are having a conversation, matters to do with Africa. Of course, avocado and beyond, because that's the foundation. Where we have Ambassador Ni Buni, Chair and CEO of Avocado Society of Nigeria, and also Peter Keriki, lead consultant at the same society, Avocado Society of Nigeria. And they're saying that it's high time Africa to build its capacity within itself. So produce, but also consume. Keep the jobs on the continent, which is very, very critical. Value add. This is the conversation we're having right here at the Farm Kenya. We take a short break. We return with more. All right, welcome back to the Farm Kenya show. We are still discussing matters to do with avocado, or in Kenya sometimes we call it ova. I don't know how we flipped it, but it still slaps all the same. And this studio we have Ambassador Adeini Buni, Chair and CEO of Avocado Society of Kenya, and Peter Karuki, lead consultant at Avocado Society of Nigeria, and is the CEO of... I'm already giving out people's jobs. Yeah, definitely. I'm going to make enemies with this.
Yes, you made it twice.
Yeah, but is the chair and CEO of Avocado Society of Nigeria. I think Kenya just comes off easily from my tongue. And I'm glad before the break you touched on, boosting our own capacity to consume locally as a continent, which is critical. Peter, I want to bring you in.
Yes.
Because we talk about uniting the continent, but if we can't unite the different regional blocks, it becomes difficult to play the whole continent. So look at the East African community, we have ECOWAS, all these blocks. So far from your experience, especially talking matters avocado within the East African community, how's the synergy? How easy is it to do business across this region?
Well, it's very complicated because everywhere you go, you have to get a document of this, the other one, you have to get another document. It's like we are fighting each other. Tanzania is fighting Kenya, Kenya is fighting Uganda and all that. But you see, we should work as a family. Africa, we should work together so that we can accomplish our goals. But now, everywhere, the taxes that you are being charged, they are too much, you see. So like, for example, I take seedlings to Nigeria. We started planting avocados there. The money that we are spending to take seedlings to Nigeria is too much. Even buying one seedling there is a lot of money.
A lot.
And why? Because the prices, the money that you have spent until you are able to put that, to put it in the plane, fly with it, take it to Nigeria, is so expensive. So we need, the government needs to come together, and also the institutions that regulate those things, the taxes and the export, whatever, so that the prices can go down.
Okay.
Yes.
Very, very important. So make it seamless. It seems when you make things easier, that convenience actually, in fact, you invite more people into the ecosystem because of the easiness of doing business.
Yes.
And, on the flip side, the government now it's able to collect more revenue from, the Laffer curve thing that economists talk about. But there is this issue again, that the continent is very young. We are the youngest continent, actually. Kenya, for example, our median age is 19. I don't know how about Nigeria.
Almost the same. Yeah.
Almost the same. And you guys are 200 million. We are just
200 million plus.
over 50 million.
And we're looking at 300.
That's a huge... I think it holds a huge potential, but also it's a ticking time bomb if not handled well in terms of youth unemployment and getting value and purpose aligned, especially for these young people. And I feel strongly that agriculture is the solution to this problem of youth unemployment. In Kenya, we have huge youth unemployment. Within the value system, where can we plug in? Talk to me about the way you think agriculture, avocado farming, and very many different ventures could be the solution to unemployment.
So for me, for the population of my country, for me, I see the positive side almost all the time. In everything, there's the P and the N, the positive, the negative. But for me, that population is huge and is a very good, opportunity for it. But unfortunately, it's like we don't really understand how to use that to get what we want.
Okay.
Now, when you talk about youth employment, you see the problem with agriculture is the foundation, poverty alleviation, whatever it is you want to say, agri can solve the problem. But the major issue is that the younger generations don't see agribusiness as an attractive sector to come into. Because from day one is a place where you think is for the low people, for the old people. So naturally, they are really not attractive to that sector. They rather want to do things that are very fast and sharp. They want to look good. They want to look smart. So deliberately, on the part of the government, government needs to then begin to create conducive environment for the younger generation to see that there is a lot of opportunity in agribusiness. And when we talk about agribusiness, the ecosystem is massive. There are a lot of opportunity across board. You necessarily don't need to get your hands dirty being the primary production. You can play in the value addition. You can play as the opportunity is massive and it can help across Africa. But I can talk about my country. And that's why people like me, will keep moving around, sensitizing people. I call myself an agri-evangelist, I move around and begin to talk to you about the good news of agriculture and things you can do. Show you opportunities. The major issue is the education, the information, and the knowledge gap.
Definitely.
So when you sit down and you talk to people, I go to faith-based meetings, I go to student meetings and because this is what I do. I've never worked for anybody in my life. From university, I started doing something. I started small, doing, one crop and the other. I started with moringa. And from there, we start moving, and we keep moving. Today, I am a living example, and I can say, if you can key into agribusiness, but on our home part, too, especially those that are practicing, we also need to begin to show the younger ones that there is potential here. Because as an agribusiness practitioner, especially I'm purely into production, we really don't have enough time. We're in the farm working, doing things, so you are coming back late in the evening. Our social life sometimes is not really there. The younger generation want to see flashiness. They want to see a kind of niche like, oh, wow, paparazzi and that. And there is nothing stopping us from putting it there. Since the foundation is there and since it's real, we are not sharing figures. We're not talking to them about the figures. And there's a lot of positive figures. There is a news out before traveling. Recently, I watched a news in one of the part of my country, from the northern region, and they will interview a farmer, and he mentioned the figures he made from 3 crops, soya and some other things. And when we put these figures together, we are talking a lot of money. We're talking almost $350,000 in a short period of time. And this is real. The same thing in Kenya. You have a lot of multi-millionaires in the agri sector, but people don't know them. You rather know an insurance broker that is you know a doctor that is the billionaire, you know this, that, but you don't really know the farmers that are billionaires. Okay. So I want to say this farmers too needs to come out.
Yes.
We need to now begin to have more mentors.
Yes.
That's a farmer. Yes, I'm a farmer. This is what I do. This is what I do. This is what I do. Then young ones are like, wow, we never thought we. So naturally, it will now begin to attract the younger ones, because these younger ones are the ones that can change the narrative.
Definitely.
They are very suave, tech savvy. They are fast. They have the energy. The age is on their side. You see, the average age of a farmer across Africa, they are getting tired now. They are old. 45, 50, 60, I don't know. Maybe you have a lot of younger. In my country, we don't really have, but we are working every day. And I want to say the result is becoming positive.
Yes.
You now see a lot of young people now in the industry, but there's still a lot of things we can do.
Exactly.
And I want to talk to youth across Africa today watching us. Let's be creative around agri. We need agri models now.
Yes.
We need people to begin to sing about agriculture. We need to begin to have good, documentaries about reasons why we should do agriculture.
Exactly.
We need to be deliberate. We need to see if we can adopt the China approach too. For us by us. Look at it. Learn from anywhere you want to learn. Bring it back home.
Okay.
If you like travel, there's no problem in migrating. Go and learn. Come back home.
Exactly.
Now everybody we are buying from China. But they were not like that before. So why you say we are young as a continent? If we don't get it right now, and we don't build a very good foundation in the area of production and value addition, we're going to rely on the other continent for the rest of our lives.
Definitely, and that's scary. Peter, you've had the farmer millionaires like you.
There are a lot of them. You see,
you should start posting more.
I have heard about that. One thing, what I would like us to do is to remove the picture of, so that the youth can come in. Yeah, one thing, the farmer used to be brought up in a picture that he was holding a fork jembe with torn trousers and all that. So we are farmers.
Yes.
Apart from being consultants, you know that we are farmers for life. Okay, and that is where everybody goes. Okay, most of the people, when you retire, you go to the farm. When you die, you are taken to the farm. So make the farm a better place for you
when you are alive.
When you are alive. So the youth should join us.
Yes.
We continue, we do farming.
Yes.
I see myself sometimes, I don't, when I'm applying for a visa, I don't like using a very big name, a lead consultant and all that. It's like, I'm a farmer. It's just your occupation, farmer. So the person giving you the visa will be like, this farmer, this farmer, he or she is expecting me to be somehow dirty or that. Okay, the hands are soft. So
soft hand, soft life.
Soft life. So farming is soft life now. It is not like the way our parents used to do it. They used to do maize and beans. That one is what they used to feed us. In Nigeria, most of them they are doing cassava and maize. I always see them doing cassava and maize. Year in, year out. Okay. So now the modern farmer now has changed. You sit in your office, you work. I was talking to a bartender when I was coming. I told him, in my farm today, there was an exporter who was harvesting fruits from my farm, Mavuno Organics. They were harvesting fruits. I was not in the farm, and they are already harvesting my fruits. So, and because I trust them, they'll just put them in crates and all that, and I'll get my money in my bank account, you see. So, we have changed farming. It is agribusiness. It's not slavery. That's why people who are being brought from Africa to Europe to become slaves to do those things. Now we have changed it. It is bringing money to you.
Definitely.
Yes.
And the beauty, even what you're talking about, value addition and sort of investing in agri-systems, is that it gives people an opportunity to plug in not necessarily at the primary production level, as you rightly put it. Right now, we are talking about the age of artificial intelligence, tech and innovation
Smart
is
farming.
at the core.
Smart farming.
I mean, talk to me about how that will revolutionize if taken properly within the African context.
Okay, if you look at the studio this afternoon, you see the people behind the camera. It was not like that before. Everything is changing. Now we have people flying drones, for your input. You want to spray your farm, we have drone technology, we have aquaponics, we have greenhouses projects. There are a lot of solutions now that the younger generations are keen into. You see, one thing with them is they are not thinking the way we are thinking.
Yes.
We are brought up to say, okay, whatever you have to work at, but they work smart. So what we need to do is there should be a collaboration between both to beginning to look at what solutions do you need. Yeah, I need these solutions, I need these solutions. Oh, security solution. I'm in Kenya, I can monitor what is going on with my farm in Nigeria. And there are database. There's this team that came to my farm and they show me stuff. They give me solutions to know the rain pattern, of where I have my farm, the GPS, that the farm was put on the GPS. So anybody from the world can do that. I don't know about that. The only reason or the only way I could monitor my farm before was through WhatsApp videos. So I would call in the morning, hello, where are you? I'm in the farm. Okay, show me. But with this now, they've been able to put something where I can just go online and I can see the activity going on. So I don't need to check. I say, yes, I know you are not doing what you're supposed to do. Then we have smart cameras. So there are a lot of solutions that the younger generations can bring in. And what I just pray we do, our research centers across Africa should begin to look at research for development.
Okay.
There are a lot of solutions sitting down in most of these research centers. There are a lot of solutions, but they will just put it there. We need to now begin to look at how can we commercialize some of these sustainable research. So the younger ones, I see that they are very smart, they are very fast, they are intelligent, they are ready. We just need to really engage them. Definitely. We don't just leave them and say, yes, they are Gen Z. No, we need to engage them, because if we engage them positively, we will be amazed at the rate of what they can really bring on board. And I respect them a lot. I respect them a lot because the way they think, the way they act, is something else. So for me, I don't joke with the younger generation.
Wow.
And another set of people, I also love, to always train and do stuff with in Africa. The women, they are meticulous. You see them, you give them to do things, they do it very well. So we need to encourage women and youth across the solution in agribusiness, across Africa.
Definitely. That's very, very important. And even Peter, as we edge closer to the end of this conversation, I know you're part of the consultation team with the Nigerian society when it comes to avocado.
Yes.
I'm looking at in terms of scaling this across Africa, because the continent is very fertile. Is very, very fertile. We can talk about areas like DRC, one of the most fertile places and even well-resourced when it comes to minerals and whatnot, extractives. The political aspect, peace and whatnot seems to be a factor. But again, with technology, we are talking about solutions and conventional solutions. Now with climate change, we can invest in watering systems. Yes. So even as you consult with them on matters avocados, the models that we've built in Kenya, small-scale models being applied in Nigeria, how do you foresee this being an African phenomenon? How do we, from your perspective as a consultant, how are you processing these to move across this continent sort of like a wildfire?
Well, once we unite, we'll be able to work. As I had said initially, we unite together. We educate our farmers, youth and women, okay? So from there now, we'll be able to expand, because actually the shocking thing is we have land in, let's say, Nigeria, Ghana, Kenya, all that. Even if it's small land, we don't take maximum, you don't utilize it maximally. You just leave the rain to go and you don't plant anything. So actually, we have to educate our people. That one is very important. So that we can move and be able to feed ourselves. Because actually, imagine we have land, we have rain, and then we are getting donor funding. We get money for buying food because we don't have ideas that how we can get food from the soil, you see? So we have to educate our people.
Definitely.
Yeah, so that's why I'm doing that in Nigeria, Gambia, and all that. So everything, not even avocado, so many other things that we are doing.
Yes.
At least to feed our mother nation and the continent as a whole.
I know. Even creating spaces where people can sort of collaborate and exchange ideas, they kind of expose and coming together. I mean, talk to me, Ambassador, about that and how we can create spaces where farmers, even young people, be it in Nigeria, in Kenya, can come and witness firsthand, or these are the people playing in the value chain, whichever spot they have taken, how can I plug in? Talk to me about creating such spaces.
Okay, I want to say, I would still want to say a big thank you to Kenya because when it comes to the business of agriculture, the country has really stepped up. I started working with 3 countries, South Africa, Kenya, and Rwanda. But I discovered something with South Africa. I couldn't really get into the system because we have a lot of big farm owned by some set of people. So I tell people that there is no problem with the small-scale approach. It's one of the best small-scale approach. But the only thing we have to do it very well and also create a conducive environment for them. It's one of those models that works everywhere in the world. Now, on getting to Kenya, I discovered that the country is really understand the business. I understand. In Rwanda, they were also growing. I could see what they were doing, and I love that concept. The fact that the government is really and heavily involved in the sustainability of and production. But in Kenya, the narrative is totally different. Now, there is this center, there is this hall in Nairobi, the center where they do training almost every day. On Agri, that was the first place I came for training like 10 years ago. I forgot the name now. It's a training center in the center of the business district. It's a hall. Oh. You know, I probably might remember. We have different organizations in Kenya that do trainings, paid, free. You have different colleges, different organizations. And again, another thing is the conducive environment here for the growth of small business too is there. In Kenya is one of those countries, I don't know about other countries as of today, that has private TV stations purely for agriculture. Whereby from the morning till evening, what they are talking about is agriculture. Like School on Here, where you are watching how to do maize. I know about 20 thereabout TV stations. There's no TV station in Kenya that does not have a program for agriculture. I think these are the things that other African countries should embrace. Because if you want this thing to spread, you need to expose people to the potential. People naturally will not think about it if they don't see potential. We are human beings, just like Peter said the other time. We need money. We just want soft life.
Yes.
But if you are not showing me how to do it, how do you expect me to do it? If you're not showing me things I need to know, there's no way I will know. So that is why with the Go Green Africa initiative, where we move around and talk about the opportunities across Africa, what we do majorly is to expose our people to the potentials, the opportunities that is available in the agribusiness sector. There is something for everybody.
Definitely.
So for me, I'm not in the right position to sit there today and say, Kenya should do more. You are doing excellently well already. And this is an approach that we are also replicating back home. Yes. Today we now have different training center. My first training center is now almost 12 years old. That's the High Hill Agribusiness Development and Incubation Center, where we bring in the youth and women, we train them. Because for me, I love production.
Yes.
I love the primary product, because without the raw material, you can't do any value addition.
Exactly.
So people need to, I tell people, gone are those days when you are talking about hectares and large number. With a few plots you have, this model, I'm always in love when I'm in Kenya. I'm always in love what's going on here. You go to somebody's house, you want to drink milk in his house, they go to the back of the house and get a fresh milk. We don't have fresh milk. And I wish we could have fresh milk. We could have it. we have the things to have. We have compounds. For an average, house sitting on a plot, back home, a plot, half a plot, except the major cities that we have. But for those from some other, soft states, we have lands. But the ecosystem there is like, we really don't understand this. Because he has goats. There's sometimes we'll slaughter goats in his house. There was a time I brought, an entourage of almost 15 people, and we spent 2 weeks in Kenya. We ate a lot of goats. We ate a lot of roasted, boiled, and you just bring goats. We have a lot of these goats.
Exactly.
But do you know, it is very hard for me to have 5 goats behind my house like you have here. Right. 1 cow behind the house and some other things. I have cows with him. Okay. I have the praisers with him.
Definitely.
So when I come, I have access to fresh meat. So I will say, today I know, as I speak to you, that we'll have a lot of Nigerians in Kenya now coming in for training. There are a lot of trainees in Kenya. And I want to say that at the government level, I wish my Nigerian people can listen to the government. I think government should please try as much as possible to find a way to collaborate with countries like Kenya, to begin to look at how we can deliberately promote and showcase the positive aspect of agribusiness. And with that, across board, people will love it, people will practice it, and we will get the reward.
Definitely. Beautiful conversation. Unfortunately, time is not on our side. These are things that we can speak till cows come home. But we have to put a full stop to that. I am meant to understand, of course, in the month of May, there is an avocado expo happening in Kenya. So all
the
these, the
Africa conference, yes.
Definitely, that is happening. And I think we'll be on the lookout as the show also, just to get pointers from there and share with the world. But thank you very much, Ambassador Adeyini Bunmi, Avocado Society of Nigeria, CEO and Chair. I'm Peter Kariuki, consultant with Avocado Society of Nigeria and different other countries. There's also the slaughterer and slaughterer of goats and milk of cows.
A
very good host.
Yeah, but a lot of other countries are looking at this now.
Definitely,
they are calling us.
So thank you very much, gentlemen, for being part of the program.
Thanks
for
having us.
Appreciate you. And there you have it. Africa has the potential. Is that what we need to do is that we need to be more deliberate to make sure that we are tapping into the resources, we are breaking down the barriers of us working together as the continent, and lastly, just make sure that we align and make sure that we are value adding our products to, make value of it. But that's been our conversation. My name is Nokip Kimboy, and that's from Kenya. Enjoy the rest of your viewing. We out.
Tufanye kazi pamoja na tukue pamoja. Kuimarisha Kenya ni jukumu la Farm Kenya.
Farm Kenya, brought to you by Fugo.